Many people around the world think of Americans as a wealthy nation. But when you think of America as a continent, this statement is pretty much contradicted. While it may be true that the people living in the US are somewhat well off, this is not necessarily the case with Latin America. Latin America, more commonly referred to as South America, is very poor. Contrary to beliefs, 94.5% of the population living in its area of land is in borderline poverty. But the question arises here, is it so? Why, on the very same continent, are some people living lives of extreme poverty while others are enjoying luxuries? And how have different things held Latin America back, pushing it into the depths of poverty? Despite having a talented population and being blessed by natural resources, which the North Americans didn't really have, poverty is pervasive in most of South America's nations. Suriname, Bolivia, Guyana, and Venezuela have the greatest poverty rates per capita. Some of these countries have improved as a result of recent political changes. Most South American economies are trying to combat poverty by introducing microeconomic policies to lessen poverty, tougher economic restrictions, and foreign direct investments. But despite all these countermeasures, the root cause of poverty in Latin America remains, preventing it from really moving in the right direction. The direction is very much beneficial for the citizens if they ever want to live a comfortable life, which is their basic right. The following factors play a very vital role in the destruction of the South American economy. The factors: unfair wealth distribution. Rundown slums coexist with opulent urban centers in most of South America, especially in popular tourist destinations, partly because of the unequal distribution of economic success. High poverty rates among the general population are partly caused by corporations, politicians, and unequal chances. Because their parents can no longer support them, many children in Brazil are forced to live and work on the streets due to the wealth that the top 1 or 2% of citizens hoard. Education. The wealth gap between rich and poor is due to the educational differences present in South America. 74 million South Americans, or around 12.4% of the region's population, live on less than $2 per day, according to World Fund. Children make up the majority of them. Compared to kids in the top income quintile, who finish school in an average of over 10 years, kids in the bottom income quintile finish school in an average of 8 years. Getting low-income people in South America access to high-quality education is extremely uncommon and challenging. While things are improving in South America, some communities are moving more slowly than others. The four named elements frequently have an immediate impact on South Americans who live in poverty. To assist tackle some of the causes of poverty in South America, it is becoming important to implement more effective and generous international aid programs for those in the region who are in need. Political unrest. Several countries in South America, including Honduras, Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina, and others, have had significant changes in political leadership in recent months and years. One reason for this is that many of these nations lack a clear democratic process. In the upcoming months, Brazil and Colombia will elect new presidents. Still, it is only because public anger is getting out of control, and new Pandora boxes related to corruption are opening up every day. For instance, President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski of Peru narrowly escaped impeachment after it turned out that he was connected to the dishonest Brazilian construction firm Odebrecht, which has acknowledged bribing officials. As has been seen numerous times, unstable or corrupt governments can prove devastating for the economics of the nation they rule, which can only negatively impact the country's poverty rate. Colonialism/racism. Similar to the Hindu caste system, Casta was a complex system of written rules based on racial segregation in which individuals were divided into social class according to their outward appearance and ethnic makeup, with these classes dictating things like where they could live, who they could marry, what jobs they could hold, and more. Because of lingering Casta-era structures and attitudes, poverty can spread over generations of South and Latin America. While the method was made popular by early white colonialists in the area, its after effects are still being faced by none other than the South Americans even to this day. The economic crisis of the past. The past crisis also has a hand in taking South America into economic chaos. Between 1998 and 2002, the economic crisis in the two largest nations on the continent, Brazil and Argentina, significantly impacted the entire region of South Africa. The IMF worried in 2001 that Argentina's monetary board, state debt, and fiscal policies might become unsustainable. As unstable and disorganized economic environment was later produced by the Petrobras affair in Brazil and the holdouts case in Argentina, which took place in 2014 and 2015, respectively. Argentina is actually working to recover from its severe currency crisis and high inflation. Apart from this, the whole area's poverty scale has also been impacted by Venezuela's erratic economic policies, economic collapse, and inflation. Having seen the logical reasons behind Latin America's poverty, I am sure you understand why there is so much of a difference between both sides of the continent of America. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time!